This lecture is entitled Act 4 of Shakespeare's Macbeth for the third year students, Department of English, College of Education for Humanities. Scene 1 of Act 4 opens in a dark cave with the witches practicing their black magic. They are mixing different ingredients in cauldron. Cauldron is a large pot for boiling. Soon Macbeth enters the scene and asks the witches about his future throughout their prophecies. He says, I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fly against the churches, though the yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up. To answer his questions, the witches summon horrible apparitions. These apparitions deliver a message to Macbeth. The first apparition, an armed head, tells Macbeth to beware Macduff. The second apparition, a bloody child, tells Macbeth that none of women born shall harm Macbeth. This seems that since all people are born from a woman, Macbeth cannot be defeated by anyone. The third apparition, a child crowned with a tree in his head, tells Macbeth that he cannot be defeated until Birnam Wood moves toward Dunsinane Hill. Macbeth's confidence is strengthened by this because it is impossible for a forest to move from one place to another. After the three apparitions have delivered their messages, a final image appears to Macbeth. He sees a procession of 8 kings walking. The last one, holding a mirror, and Banquo's ghost walks at the end of the line. Macbeth asks the witches about the meaning of the final image, but the witches vanish. Lennox enters and tells Macbeth that Macduff has fled to England. Macbeth decided to attack Macduff's castle and to kill his wife and children. Macbeth says aside, the castle of Macduff, I was surprised, sees upon the fifth, give to the edge of the sword, his wife, his babies, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I will before this purpose cool. Scene 2 of Act 4 opens in a room in Macduff's castle. Lady Macduff speaks with Ross, asking to know why her husband has fled. She feels betrayed. Ross insists that she trusts her husband's judgment and then regretfully departs. Once he is gone, Lady Macduff tells her son that his father is dead, but the little boy argues that he is not. A messenger suddenly comes into the scene, warning Lady Macduff to flee. However, Lady Macduff refuses, feeling she has done nothing wrong and she shouldn't be chased out of her house. A group of murderers then bursts into the scene, killing the young son and chases Lady Macduff. The last scene of the act moves to Macduff, who has now fled to England to meet with Malcolm. Malcolm doesn't trust Macduff, feeling as though Macbeth may have sent him as a spy. Macduff expresses his loyalty to Scotland and his desire to do right for the country. Ross enters the scene, having just arrived from Scotland. He tells Malcolm about the bad situation of Scotland under the rule of Macbeth. He describes Scotland by saying, alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is one seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are mad, not marked where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. Ross argues Malcolm to return. Malcolm says that he will be returning with the troops lent to him from the English king. Then Ross tells Macduff that his wife and children have been slaughtered by Macbeth. Macduff feels angry and vows to have revenge on Macbeth. For more information, read the textbook. If you have any question, post it in a comment.